Hello and welcome to Playables and Polygons, the great gaming podcast where we talk about anything gaming. I'm Mariah Bedell.
I'm Aaron Johnson, but you can just call me Johnson.
I'm Aaron Nee, but you can call me Nee.
Join us on today's episode, Press Shift to Start. Here we will talk about gaming news, new games, old games, and even some reviews. Alright, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
So has anyone played the new Payday recently?
No.
Not recently?
No.
Have you?
I have not, but I want to.
So the patch notes ended up coming out for it about a month ago. They released some legendary heists. They came from the old one, Legacies.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
We got couple new weapons, new shotgun, new marksman. We got new enemy types.
Interesting.
Called the Techie. They call in little drones that fly around and will come after you, try to find you. They also have an invisible shield that you can't see through.
Is there a way I can see it or anything
There is. They added a new skill tree called Scrambler.
Interesting.
That helps you track the Techie, and you have it'll highlight enemies around the map.
Okay.
Special ones.
Okay.
Lil Techie sounds like a robot rap name.
Techie. Yeah, the Techie does.
Oh, jeez.
They also ended up fixing a bunch of loading bugs where you couldn't load into the game properly or it would remove you instantly.
Yeah, that happened to me a lot. Yeah. That's good.
They added new costumes for people who have the DLC. It's called Syntax Error. They got some Daft Punk style mask, which are kind of cool. They have this one emoji one that was kind of fun to look at. I think the update's pretty nice, honestly.
I like it.
It does sound nice.
I'm going to have to go home and
They came
play
out
it.
with some decent stuff.
Have you guys heard of Princess Peach Showtime?
I have not.
Same.
I was just on the Nintendo Switch, upcoming deals, and I saw a game called Princess Peach Showtime. Apparently it's coming out on my birthday, so that's neat, March 22nd. Apparently it was announced, June last year, in the Nintendo Direct presentation, and it's, pretty much just about Princess Peach. She's, in plays and can, get different abilities with different forms she has, sword fighter, detective. There's different characters now. There's a villain called the Wicked Grape. Apparently that's the main villain of the game.
The Wicked Grape?
I
the
thought it's
Wicked
Bowser.
Grape. No.
Bowser really fell off.
Yeah, I thought.
It's the Wicked Grape now, the Wicked Grape of the West.
What does it look like?
I don't know. Probably a grape.
I'd like to imagine it's just it's not a bunch of grapes. It's a singular grape with a tiny crown at the top.
That would be neat. She also has a new sidekick called Stella. I don't know anything else about her though. It's also
Is that the star from Galaxy?
maybe.
Because I remember the star was called what, Stella?
I think so.
That sounds interesting though.
It is interesting.
Especially because it's the second, in all time, the second game where it focuses on Peach.
Yeah. Wasn't the other one the one where we got the crown? The crown that would turn Toadette into Princess Peach for a little bit.
Wait, what? I never heard any of that.
It was the power crown.
What?
Power crown that turned him into Princess
I'm
Peach.
behind. So, have you guys heard of Mafia?
I've heard of it.
Which one?
Just the definitive edition, the new one. The
Heard
remake.
of you talking about it.
I've heard of it, but I haven't played them. And I know
I play with a good old friend here. So.
Yeah, I know our buddy recommends it a lot.
It's basically, it was released in 2020. It took place in Lost Haven, Illinois, during the 1930s. You play as Tommy Angelo as the character. He was just a normal taxi driver. And then later on, he just got into the mafia situation where the mafia was on the run. So he just got along with it and drove them to safety. And the cops were chasing them. They're perfectly fine. Then later said, if you need help or you want to join the mafia, just call us or contact us. They just give them a card. And he was thinking about it. He was thinking about no, because that's too risky. But he needed the money, so he just joined it anyway. Later on, he met Don Salieri, which is the one who operates the territory. And then later on, he met Sam and Polly, which is all the mafia member. Just a very close.
Are they all part of the same family, like same mafia family?
Yes, they are. The reason they're the one that Salieri trusts them because they're the most loyal one out of all of them. Even though they're like clumsy and sometimes, but they're the most loyal out of everybody else in this group. So that's why. That's how Pauline got to know them before anyone else.
I joined the mafia on BitLife once.
That's good. So later on, there's a war between Salieri and, I don't know how to say it, but it's Morel. I think that's the name of it, from the different enemy of the mafia. Mm-hmm. They got into the war. It happened during the 1930s, just between them.
Also, it's an old 30s. Like
they were friends before, and then somehow later on, they got into like going on the situation, become enemies, and just start like try to fight each other and take over territories. All the way to 1935. It was like a long war. Yeah, it was insane.
Is the where do you play at? Like, are you in a city, I'm assuming?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think it was somewhere around like Little Italy. That's around like the city of the name area. It's also near Lost Haven, downtown. Like it's part of the area going on scenario.
Is it it's developed by Rockstar, right?
I'm not sure. It was but it shows in the intro, it shows it was 2K. 2K games. Yeah. It was them, but I think they were like I don't know.
It was a partnership.
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not fully sure, but I think so.
How open is the city to you when you start?
It doesn't feel very open because in the beginning it felt like you're supposed to do like story automatically. There was no pathway. There is free mode, but there's not a lot of stuff to do like interaction with it. But you get to see how cool the city look and how pretty it is. For some reason, every time I start the free mode, it always dress him up as a taxi driver. Like it never changed his outfit. It just kept him like that.
That's what you're supposed to do in free mode. Hey, that's your job.
I meant he quit and become a mafia. I mean, like I would do the same.
In his free time, he still wants to drive.
It was
taxi.
during the Great Depression. It was like he was poor. He needed the money.
It brings him great joy to help depressed people get to where they need to go by driving a taxi. I'll definitely be taking a look into the mafia games, considering everybody's recommended them.
It was really sad.
It seems like you liked it. Well, I think that's all the time we have for today. I guess we'll see you next time on Playables and Polygons. Go ahead and subscribe to Red Devil Productions and see us on the next episode. Have a great day.
Hello and welcome to Celebrity Slice, the show all about the latest pop culture news. I'm Katie Games.
I am Julia Moreno de Oliveira, and we are here to fill you in the craziest stars of the celebrity in the world.
Our first segment is called Believe It or Not, where we tell you the most mind-blowing facts about celebrities.
Did you know in high school Madonna was fired from Dunkin' Donuts after short time for throwing a tube of jelly at a customer?
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Why do you think she did it? Did it say why she did it?
No.
Or did she just get mad and throw
it? She only say mad and say, yay, jelly in your face.
Oh my gosh.
Taylor Swift from Brazil have some tragic history in Brazil. You know that?
Really?
Really?
Tell me about it.
In Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, in the show, the people in the show say you can go in the show with bottled waters. They banish this, and the girl died.
Taylor Swift killed somebody.
Yeah,
Taylor Swift literally killed somebody.
only 3 years she died in the show.
Because she couldn't have water.
Yeah. And in Brazil, this time was too hot.
That's so messed up. I wonder why they wouldn't let him have water. Do you think it's because,
Yeah.
like, trash?
Yeah, like, no, it's only because they want to
They want
more
to make money.
Yeah, make money. So they said, you can't go in with water.
No.
So
And when you go to, like, a concert or a festival outside and you try to buy a water, you
It's
need to be
like-
prepared to spend, like, $10 on your bottle of water.
Like $10. Oh my, it's too much
Oh my
money
gosh.
in the water. And it happens some people try help this girl
Mm-hmm.
and start throwing bottled water. Like old man start in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
She start throwing water in the people only because they dying.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
That just sounds like a train wreck.
Yeah, it's so sad.
It's not funny.
No.
I shouldn't laugh. It's very
Yeah.
sad.
And this only happened in November, the last year. Oh my.
Nobody ever has talked about that.
In Brazil, oh my god.
That is
The
so
first-
horrible.
Doesn't stay like a month. People talking this in the TikTok. It's too crazy.
That's terrible.
Yeah. They make like a journal for something process about the show.
Did they like press charges on Taylor Swift?
No, because it's not her fault. It's
It's the venue's
yeah.
fault. Yeah.
They said you can go with water, like, and this happened. And it's not her fault. She only like here in Brazil saying her show and trying.
I bet she made a lot of money.
Yeah, and this.
Taylor Swift has so much money, she should be buying everybody their own water.
Yeah,
She should have a water slide at her show.
yeah, that is good.
Oh. Okay. On to the next, we have Gypsy Rose Blanchard. How much do you know about Gypsy Rose Blanchard?
Not a lot. I only know a couple of things about it.
So her mom was really abusive, and she convinced the world that Gypsy had all of these like health problems, like she had cancer and she was crippled, like she couldn't walk and everything. She had all of her teeth removed. She had her salivary glands removed, and she was like kept on a feeding tube. She had to shave her head. She wasn't allowed to walk. She had to be on a
Oh my.
wheelchair. And it was all fake.
Yeah.
And the Gypsy's mom would like give her medicine to make her sick so that like it was believable that she was actually sick, but she never had cancer. She never needed a feeding tube. And a lot of people, like, I think one of the most confusing things about it is like, how did a doctor not recognize that? But then when I looked into it further, Gypsy's mom, her name's Dee Dee Blanchard, she would tell the doctors that they lost all of Gypsy's like medical files.
Oh my. But how did doctor make the writing for she have this?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's horrible. I mean, how irresponsible are you?
How the doctor say, yes, I do this for you?
It's horrible. And so then one day Gypsy starts like catching on to like, I can walk, I can eat with my mouth, like I don't need any of this stuff. What's going on? Then Gypsy finds her medical records and sees that she's actually in her 20s. She thought she was like 15 maybe,
How?
because her mom lied to her. And so she used to like log into her computer when Dee Dee would go to bed, and she would go on dating websites to meet guys. One night she met Nicholas Godejohn. Then they started planning on how they were going to kill Dee Dee.
Oh, it's so funny. let's talk about how I killed my mom.
Literally. And so they go and get a knife and everything. And one night, Nicholas walks in. He goes into the bedroom and kills the mom. And
Yeah.
it blows my mind. But Gypsy just got out of jail. She got out 3 years early. She got out December 28th, 2023. First thing she did was make an Instagram and TikTok account, which both have about 8 million followers on them
She's
now.
crazy. Oh my.
And she claims that being in prison for so many years helped her like adjust to the normal life. But I still think she's weird because I see how she is online. I think she's weird. But who knows what's going to
Of course
happen
she
next.
is. She killed her mom.
And how normal are you ever going to be if you kill your mom?
Exactly. You don't have say, oh, I'm normal. I kill my
Oops.
mom. Oops.
But I think that's all for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to subscribe to Red Devil Productions for future releases.
See you the next time.
Bye. Oh my gosh. That's so crazy. Oh my
Money.
god.
In Brazil, oh my god. Oh my. It's too crazy.
She had to be on a
Oh
wheelchair.
my. Oh my.
Million followers on them
She's
now.
crazy. Oh my.
These people are just crazy, and
Yeah.
it blows my mind.
Hello, and welcome to Tall Tales with D&D, a storytelling podcast where each episode we bring in a guest to tell a story, but one part about it isn't true, and it's up to us to figure out if it's a tall tale. I'm Derek.
And I'm David. On this episode, Derek will be listening to our guest story and figuring out what the lie is. Today's guest, Erin Nee. How you doing today,
Hello,
Erin?
thank you.
What's
Thank you for
up?
having me. I heard that I'm getting paid.
No, not at all.
What, you scam me? Really?
Yeah, we did.
Fine.
No.
And what kind of story will you be telling today?
I'll be telling how I got here today, like basically all based on my life story in childhood.
All right, Erin, take it away.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. It all started in Chinatown, Manhattan. When I was a little kid, I was not a good kid. I pickpocket like every single time I can because my family was poor. I lived with my grandpa and grandma, and my dad and my mom was at Ohio the whole time working at the restaurant. It all started, I got into kindergarten. It was not, I got into the kindergarten, but it was not good. The teachers are bad. They would never listen to me, and I told them stuff like that, like, I don't feel well, but then they always force me. So ever since that, like all that stuff like that, they treated me horrible and all that stuff. Ever since, till now, I hated that school ever since. What else though? It was raining really badly, but somehow I wasn't looking. And then somehow I just walk on the road and the car just randomly hit, just out of nowhere, it just hit me and I literally fall on the ground. What? It was really bad. What? I was 6 years old, okay? So the car hit me, and then I actually fractured my bone. Like, my grandma literally had to carry me to the hospital, and I literally got x-ray and all that stuff. So I had to wear the cast, like, for a while, for, like, a lot, like, I don't know how long it is. I just wear it for a while there, and then I could take it out and say, oh, we're good, and then everything's fine. It was around the neighborhood. I live in an apartment, and
I figured.
I walk around. I'm like a silly kid. I don't usually listen to my grandparents, stuff like that. I always, like, I pickpocket people when I was little. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You clearly
That's a bad thing, Aaron.
Yeah.
I
it's a pretty bad thing.
I don't think I have to tell you that. That's a bad thing.
I love doing planting and stuff like that, like plant stuff like that. Like when I eat like fruits and stuff like that, I took the seed out of my mouth and just go around the playground and put like dirt around it. And there was a story that literally some people do know. I get like water hose on me because people always treat me and always said that like I never listen to because I don't like listening to them and stuff like that. And they always like force me to do stuff and I don't want to. And then I said, no, you're not going to make me. So I run away from them around the playground, but they caught me and then grabbed me both sides and then poured water on me. And I had to cry to my grandparents and stuff like that.
Yes, I do. Vaguely
It was
remember
not
this
good.
story.
Yeah. I usually get sick a lot. When I was little and stuff like that, it was not a condition. It was really hot and all that stuff. We didn't have enough money to buy medicine, all that stuff. So when I get sick and stuff like that, it took so long to heal. So I get sick really easy from how I grown up till now. I'm sick right now. Like during that time when I was also like almost like I did a lot when I was 6 years old. When I was almost 7 years old, I met somebody at the playground. I met a girl.
Oh.
It was a Japanese girl. I never got her name during that time, but for some reason we loved to talk about like the Chinese and Japanese war, stuff like that. It was like a comparison type of thing. It was like really funny. But then she left, but I didn't get to tell her like what's her name, all that stuff, and say like I love her.
I
and stuff
love
like that.
you.
Yeah, it was a missed chance, but it was too late now. But
Got his heart broken at the
during
ripe
that
age of like 6 or 7 years old. Got your heart broken.
You hold my
not
heart.
heartbroken, but just like a little bit
Sad,
sad
yeah.
and missed the chance to
I get you.
to
Yeah.
change the fact that sometimes that's why I wish if I do go back in time was like during that time pretty much. Later time when I got home and I thought it was just a normal day, I'm 7 years old now, and they told me that, well, it's time for you to go back. I said, go where? To Ohio, to your parents. Wait, who's my parents? I've never seen them before. Because when I said I don't have any memory during that time. And then later on, my grandpa and I got into the bus. I cried and I said goodbye to my grandma and everything. And then later I got into the bus and I drove all the way to St. Clairsville. And later on, I got off and I see my dad was parking there. And I got into the car and I asked, who are you? And he said, I'm your dad. Wait, I have a dad? Because I never realized that because I always thought like, I never see them ever. So it was a little bit surprising. And I say that, what do you do? What do you do? Where are you out? Where am I? Basically, what I'm saying. And they said, I'm at St. Clairsville and you're going to be going to school here. I said, wait, what? I'm going here, not New York? He said, yeah. Later on, when I was almost 8, I got into first grade. I didn't know a single English. I just got in there. And I was so embarrassed. I was about to just run away and cry. But my dad told me not to be embarrassed. You'll meet a lot of new friends. Later on, I did. Okay, so basically, I remember in second grade, this is starting the time when I started making more friends. Then I met you, Derek. Then David. I don't know what I met. I think I met you sophomore year.
Yeah, we met sophomore year, but you went to my school for like maybe 5 seconds, and then you left, and then that happened.
Yeah,
that you just said.
And later on, I just learned, and then I started doing better, and I started learning better English. I have a tutor a long time ago. It's Miss Fitzsimmons, but she passed away. Oh. So I didn't have any more. If she was still there, I'd probably learn more English and know more, all that stuff. And I'm actually really thankful for her where I got here today, basically. Without her, I would not know any English, and I wouldn't even be able to talk right now here. Basically.
Huh.
Yeah, she definitely taught you well, considering you have better grammar than I do, and I've been speaking English my whole life.
And I learned like all the technology, all thanks to her teaching me all that type of stuff like that. That's how I started to learn, and then I teach myself all that stuff like that. And that's pretty much my story and how I got here pretty much here today. And who I am, how I got here, why I talk about money, all that stuff. It's all based on here. That point.
It all had a reason. But hey, thank you so much for your story, Aaron.
No problem.
And I think it's finally come to the time where, Derek, what do you think about that story was the lie?
Ooh, and that's going to be a tough one. Because early on, he mentioned having to pickpocket people, of which, knowing you, that's really hard to believe.
It's New York. You gotta remember. Do you know how many people walk around these days? And you can easily pickpocket people. I pickpocketed somebody's phone before, and then I ran away.
He's still thinking about it.
I got away with it sometimes,
You
but I
have
do get
all
caught.
you have all the strategies still in your mind.
It's
Just
like
seriously,
a thing. I was a horrible kid. If you watch Naruto Uzumaki, this is the kid that I was, and I was doing a lot of stuff. I paint everywhere and all that stuff. I grab a bucket of paint and start painting around the road, like all that. Not the road, but like the sign.
I don't know whether to believe you or not.
No. You gotta believe the part of the pickpocketing part. That one you gotta believe.
Oh, so you're trying to sell me on that one. Is that reverse psychology or no?
How am I supposed to know? I'm not the guessing one here.
I'm going to have to go for the pickpocketing.
believe it or not, that's actually true.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
You know how shocked I was when he said that?
Do I
You
re-
are right. He didn't
Do I
get hit by a
reveal
car.
this? Do I reveal the?
He didn't-
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He almost sold it, but yeah, he didn't get hit by a car, but he sold it really well.
yeah.
I just told him.
The truth about the car, about all the stuff happening, was not the car. It was replaced by the playground, the pole. You know, the long thing that you you slide straight down. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I broke. That's how I fractured my
so
bone.
you did break it. It's just the way that you. Oh.
Yeah, it did happen during the rain. I did met the two kids, random stranger kid. I don't know why.
Wow.
And then I played with them, and we were playing tag. So I did the pull, and I slide down. It was so wet, it made me slip out of my hand and actually fall straight down. So when I landed,
see.
I protected my head, so my hand hit first. So basically, when I got up, my hand was painful, and I started crying. So my grandma carried me to the hospital.
I see. Well, anyway,
Thank you.
thank you so much for being on.
Hold
Aaron.
on a second. Do I get paid?
No.
I did all this
All right.
and I don't get paid.
Well,
No.
All right.
Something's wrong. Hold on.
So-
This podcast.
we have to
Hold
cut
on.
it here.
Hey, where's my money?
Okay, well, yeah, that happened. But thank you so much, Aaron, for being on. And thank you guys so much for listening. Be sure to subscribe to Red
Owe me
Devil.
money.
Be sure
Get
to
out of here.
be sure to subscribe to Red Devil Productions for future releases from the program. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Hello and welcome to the WSTC News Podcast, brought to you by the Belmont-Harrison Career Centers and St. Clairsville High School. I'm Chloe Bowers.
And I'm Zach Richardson. On today's episode of Measles Outbreak, Coachella headliners, YouTube retirements, and future plans for the Rhythm Game rock band.
First in health news, earlier this month, January 2024, a cluster of measles cases were reported in Philadelphia, PA. This is the latest in a series of outbreaks following similar clusters in Wilmington, Delaware, and Camden County, New Jersey. Measles normally starts with a high fever, potentially spiking to 104 degrees, followed by a rash, bumps, a cough, and congestion. It can be deadly to children and babies, and sources have already reported 13 fatalities within week 1 of 2024 regarding measles. This is why vaccinating your children is vital. Not only are kids at risk, but being unvaccinated puts the elderly at a high risk too. In 2020, the vaccine rate for measles was at 54%, but in 2024, it's down to 43%. Around 136,000 people passed away from measles alone in 2022, most being unvaccinated. The Center for Disease Control, or CDC, recommends children should get 2 doses of the MMR vaccine, the first dose starting between 12 to 15 months of age. In the last 2 decades, scientists have shown that measles wreaks havoc on the immune system of an unvaccinated person. So remember, vaccinations don't just protect the vaccinated, they protect everyone.
Next in entertainment news, on January 16th, Coachella announced their lineup for 2024. Lana Del Rey, Tyler the Creator, and Doja Cat will headline at the popular California Music and Arts Festival this April. Coachella takes place annually across 2 weekends, and this year, general admission is $4.99 per person plus fees, with VIP passes starting at $1,069. A pass will give you access to the 5 Peaks tents adjacent to the main stage and in the Rose Garden. These areas feature food and drink vendors, air-conditioned restrooms, and shaded seating areas. Tickets can be purchased online starting January 19th, and if these prices are not in your budget, don't worry. Performances from both weekends will also be streamed on YouTube. By far the most surprising part of the announcement, no doubt the famous performing group made up of Gwen Stefani, Tom DeMont, Tony Kanal, and Adrian Young will reunite for the first time in 10 years to perform.
Now in social media news, it seems 2024 may be the start of the great YouTube resignation. Barely 1 month into 2024, several popular creators have announced they are quitting or taking a break from the popular video streaming service. YouTubers like MatPat, Meat Canyon, Captain Sparkles, and more are either leaving or taking indefinite break. Burnout is the most plausible reason big YouTubers have decided to step back from posting. In videos explaining their decisions, many talk about the pressure of making content for their audience. Another reason could be that in YouTube's early days, there was a lot of freedom for people to forge their own unique style. Today, creators have to constantly compete for viewers' attention rather than making what they want. It's clear that YouTube has changed massively, and everyone is struggling to keep up with changing viewer attitudes.
Finally, in gaming news, Harmonix, the company behind the legendary rhythm game Rock Band, has stated that they are no longer supporting the game after nearly a decade of weekly content. They have also warned the Rock Band community about what will happen after they stop supporting the game. Harmonix has plans to focus more on their new game mode in Fortnite, called Fortnite Festival, that shares many features with outgoing titles. The mode is essentially a modernized version of Rock Band with the same display and controls. You could get to make playing Rock Band more engaging. The Verge stated that the developer Harmonix has added nearly 3,000 songs to the game as re-downloadable content. Over the course of 8 years, that remarkable run is coming to an end on January 25th. Harmonix's main goal is to focus on Fortnite Festival and the new line of controller compatibility with the new game mode that are expecting to release later this year. So get to playing those rock tunes and become a rock legend. That's all for this episode of WSTC News Podcast, brought to you by the Belmont-Harrison Career Centers in St. Clairsville High School. Make sure to subscribe to Red Devil Productions on YouTube for future podcast releases for the entertainment marketing program.
Thank you to our assistant copywriters Aaron Johnson and Aaron Nee, and thank you for listening. Remember to make every moment matter today. See you next time.